Okay, so for the notes today, balanced practice, we're going to go through, it's basically everything we have already been doing with multiplying coefficients and subscripts and counting atoms to make sure that each side of the equation is balanced, the reactants and the products. So remember, everything on the left-hand side of the equation is your reactants, and everything on the right side are your products. So just like we have been doing, always list out your elements, which they have done for you. So you have a hydrogen and you have an oxygen. So this is the same. Both of these oxygens are the same. You will add them together once you are finished. So here, this formula has a coefficient. So remember that this 2 gets multiplied by that H and by that O. It does not for this oxygen here. So I have 4 hydrogen because 2 times 2 is 4. And this is an understood 1, so 2 times 1 would be 2. And then over here I have also 2 oxygen, so 2 plus 2 would give me 4 oxygen. So now I have to see if my product side is equal. So this 2 coefficient goes to that hydrogen and to that oxygen, and you multiply. So I have 2 hydrogen, so 2 times 2 would give me 4 hydrogen, and then 2 times 1 would only give me 2. So this would be an unbalanced because my reactants do not equal my products. I'm missing 2 oxygen on this side. So are the elements and the reactants and the products the same? Yes, they are, because I have hydrogen and oxygen, and on this side I also have a hydrogen and an oxygen. Are the number of atoms of each element in the reactants and the products equal? So no, they are not, because again, I have 4 oxygen here, but only have 2 oxygen here. So is the equation balanced? No, it is unbalanced. So let's look at the second one. I have NH3 plus HCl produces or yields NH4Cl. So I list my elements. I have nitrogen, hydrogen. That hydrogen is the same, so I do not rewrite another H. And then I have chlorine. Over here, I write them out just the same. I have a nitrogen, a hydrogen, and a chlorine. So now I need to count atoms. Okay, so right here I have 1 nitrogen. I do not have any more anywhere else, so that is a 1. I have a hydrogen. I have 3 hydrogen here and only 1 here, so 3 plus 1. So I have 3 and then plus 1 gives me 4 hydrogen. And I have 1 chlorine. No coefficients, it's an understood 1 in front and behind for the subscript. On the product side, I have 1 nitrogen as well here. I have 4 hydrogen because of the subscript here, so 4 hydrogen, and I have 1 chlorine. So I'm looking at my number of atoms. I have 1 and 1, 4 and 4, and 1 and 1. So let's answer the questions. Are the elements in the reactants and the products the same? Yes, because I have a nitrogen, hydrogen, and a chlorine on both the reactant and the product side, so yes. Are the number of atoms of each element in the reactants and products equal? Yes, because 1 and 1, 4, 4, 1 and 1. So is this equation balanced? Yes, it is a balanced equation. Now, this follows the law of conservation of mass. When you have a balanced equation, that is the law of conservation of mass, which says matter cannot be created or destroyed. So both sides are the same, are equal. On the back, at the top, you have 2Na2O2 plus 2H2O yields or produces 4NaOH plus O2. So again, first thing you do always, you list your elements. So I have a sodium, I have an oxygen, and I have a hydrogen. So this oxygen again is the same as this one. I will add them after multiplying. On the product side, I list them in the same order. So I have a sodium, an oxygen, and a hydrogen. So over here, sodium, this 2 coefficient, you will multiply by everything right there. And again, it is multiplied. This 2 coefficient, you will multiply by that one. So sodiums, I have 2 times 2, which gives me 4. I have 2 times 2, which will give me 4 oxygen, but I know I have another one over here, so I'm not going to write it down just yet. So for hydrogen, 2 times 2, which will give me 4 hydrogen, and 2 times 1, which will give me 2, so 4 plus 2 will give me 6 oxygen. On the other side, this 4 coefficient, you multiply by everything behind it. So again, remember your capital letters. Again, I have an oxygen over here, so I'll add the 2 once I'm done multiplying. So an understood 1 for subscript, so 4 times 1, which would give me 4 sodium. Here I have 4 oxygen, so 4 times 1 would give me 4. And then here I have 2, so 4 plus 2 would give me 6 oxygen. And this hydrogen, 4 times 1, would give me 4. So now to answer the questions, I can already tell you that the number of atoms per element are equal, so this would be a balanced equation. So again, the law of conservation of mass. Are the elements in the reactant side the same as the product side? Yes, they are. You have a sodium, an oxygen, and a hydrogen. Are the number of atoms of each element in the reactants and the product side equal? Yes, I have 4, 4, 6 and 6, 4 and 4. So they are equal also. So is this equation balanced? Yes, it is balanced. Okay, and the last example at the bottom, you have 2Al plus 3MnO yields AlO3 plus 3Mn. So we will write out our elements. We have aluminum, we have magnesium, and an oxygen. So at the bottom, I like to write them in the same order so it does not confuse me later. So Al, Mn, I do have that, and I have an oxygen. Okay, so I have a 2 coefficient, so that 2 gets multiplied by that understood 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Magnesium, I have 3 coefficients, so that's going to get multiplied by everything behind it. So 3 times the understood 1 gives me 3, and 3 times the understood 1 for oxygen will give me 3 as well. On this side, aluminum, I have an understood 1 as a coefficient, so, and that's an understood 1 behind it as a subscript, so aluminum only has 1. Oxygen has 3 from that subscript, so oxygen has 3. And this magnesium, or I'm sorry, manganese, I apologize, manganese has 3. So, are the elements in the reactants and the products the same? Yes, the elements are the same. I have aluminum on both sides, I have manganese on both sides, and I have an oxygen on both sides. So they are the same. Are the number of atoms of each element in the reactants and products equal? Well, no, I have 2 aluminum here, but only 1 here. Manganese and oxygen are the same. So no to that. So if this is no, then that would mean this is an unbalanced equation because of my aluminum. Okay, so looking at your assignment for today, is it balanced or not? When I look at it, you're going to do the exact same thing. So first thing you do is you list out your elements just like we did on the notes page. So I list out my elements in the order here. And then you do not do anything in these middle boxes. So nothing goes here in the middle boxes. This is your arrow. It's kind of like your equal sign. So you could put equal signs all the way through. Does not matter. So again, you list out your elements on both sides of the equation, and then you will count your atoms just like we did here. And then you will tell me whether or not the equation is balanced. So again, in order for it to be balanced, both sides have to be equal number of atoms per element. If you have any questions, please email me